They haven't raised their price. They seem to do a good job by us.
I'll support. Any other discussion or questions for Mike? Sue?
Mayor DeVore,
Yes.
Councilmember Salzweedl,
Yes.
Councilmember Yankovic,
Yes.
Councilmember Chambers,
Yes.
and Councilmember Groves.
Yes.
All right, board and commission reports. Cliff?
We didn't have a trail meeting because there weren't enough people going to show up, but I was scheduled to be at Lowell Light and Power. I took Dr. Carl Bloss with me, and we were discussing the future of EVs and Lowell's having charging stations. Lowell was early to the party, but they need to be replaced. The newer chargers can take 2 vehicles at a time. We have, I don't know if anybody knows it or not, but we have 2 charging stations in town. And like I said, I was congratulating Lowell Light and Power for being so early to the party, but now we're a little behind the curve. And Carl is actually working with Consumers Power as a consultant promoting, but he was a wealth of information. It was a great time. And I was surprised at how receptive the board was to not only replacing what we had, but they shocked me by saying, well, what about putting some in some other places? And do we need to do a study where because Carl had some pretty convincing numbers about the future of electric vehicles. They're coming, and they're coming fast. Ford F-150 is going to be a huge game changer in 2022. So that was my fun.
All right, Jim?
Yeah, it was nice to see Cliff at the Low Light Power meeting. We did break an all-time record and got done at 8:30. However, if Cliff didn't talk, we would have been out 45 minutes earlier. So that was his part of adding to it.
I felt I was going to die soon, so I wanted to talk as much as I could at a meeting.
And he got up and he was excited, right, Charlie? He was like maybe senior at prom or something. I don't know. He was extremely focused and energized about it, and understanding afterwards the passion that he has for electric vehicles on that part of it too. And I did like the fact that they're looking at 3%. Most cars will be EV in the very near future. 3%. That's quite a bit. And how do we take care of those people when they come to visit town, as they do come and charge and spend money? One of the things I was really impressed with at the Low Light Power meeting last year, they had under $700 worth of write-offs, and that's kudos to staff and their ability to collect, people paying. Even though we had one of the worst years with COVID and economics and everything like that, they only have to write off under $700, but like $699 and some change, something like that, part of it. So that was very exciting too. And they bought a couple new trucks and a lot of good things there, a lot of good people on that board on that. And Mike, some bad news is I had to take a trip to, this is for Mike DeVore, M37 is getting a new turnabout 3 miles from Traverse City that's almost installed. So when you take 37 to get into Traverse City.
That's a roundabout.
It's
That's a roundabout.
A roundabout for you, buddy. Just for you. And I am going to write the state and see if we can talk to Mike DeVore. I know you like it.
I don't think love is born.
That's it.
They're the worst invention in the history of mankind. All right, Marty. Okay, that's about roundabout.
All right. Planning Commission, we had medical marijuana, 2 people trying to get their establishments licensed by the city. Both of them will be returning. The first one was an issue with parking. It was inadequate. They did not have nowhere near enough parking at the facility. The second one, they just never showed up. So we tabled them until next month. And then we did have our annual Airbnb 1-year cycle. After an Airbnb, we give the go-ahead. They have to come back to us and request for the following year. We make sure they're still in compliant. The police haven't been up there 100 times, all this stuff. He did ask for 2 additional cars to be there. And again, this year, we denied it. It's in a residential neighborhood, and they didn't need that many cars up in there, so he's still back to the 6 original. That's it.
Okay, Leah?
I've got Parks and Rec tomorrow and Chambers Breaks for July, so I've got nothing.
I had fire authority, and we discussed a fire inspector full-time with the amount of businesses that come to town and the amount that need yearly and sometimes bi-yearly inspections. That could be a full-time job that would be very heavy on the preventative side of, it's the job, the only job where you are supposed to prevent yourself from having a job. So they're going to do that. And we are not having an August meeting because it would have fallen the Monday night that fair starts, and I don't think getting in and out of the fairgrounds and the fire station is going to be easy, hopefully, if the fair is packed like I hope it is. I also attended the school board meeting just as an observer, and I want to tell people, you got to get to these. There's a lot of stuff going on for this upcoming school year and a lot of questions that are getting asked. It was, at a minimum, interesting to be over there. And that's all I have. Any questions on the budget report?
Yeah, we're at the end of the fiscal year. Really, nothing's changed since when we came back to the amendments.
Any questions on the monthly reports? City managers report, Michael.
Yeah, just a couple items. Last week, I did look into the request that was made at the council meeting about the BSNA website. I went to about 10 different municipal websites to see what they were doing. Every community that I went to, we were doing the same thing we were doing. These are public records. I mean, these are public records. I could, if I really wanted to FOIA your water bill, see if you pay your water bill, I can do that. So there's really no legal concerns by having this. It's more of a policy of this is what the city council wants to have going forward. I do know in talking with my staff that ever since this is before my time, but when BSNA didn't have these public access information on websites, the call volume came in a lot more because you did have a lot of title companies, banks, calling asking for this information, and they can just go to the website and find themselves. And we've eliminated 2 full-time positions in City Hall since I've been here. We probably will eventually eliminate a 3rd. I guess my concern is that it's going to create, our work, our staff is busy as it is. Don't necessarily want to create an additional work if not needed. But I guess if council wants me to put this on the agenda to address it, I will. That's where I stand with it. Also, there is a Senate bill right now that, I don't know the bill number, but it did pass last week. They are approving $150 million for road funds. $70 million of it is proposed to go to cities, villages, and townships. That being said, it still has to go through the House and signed by the governor. So, it's a lot of, I mean, for coming out of the legislature, that's a lot of money if that does get.
So we should encourage Representative Albert to vote yes on that. Pardon me.
You could.
He just did. I wasn't here for the water bill thing, but I can't imagine there's a ton of people around town that know their account number by heart.
Right.
So if you're at work or you're on your phone or you're something on the 20th, holy crap, I gotta pay my water bill. You can do it by your last name. Also, I don't know how many people want their water bill to be a secret. Be like, oh, look, I can prove to you I take showers here on the internet with my $90 water. I just don't think it's a problem that needs city staff's time and resources to look into. Personally, I could be wrong. But I wasn't here for the meeting, so I don't know what the overall consensus was.
It's basically Marty was checking all of us to see if we had paid our water bills.
Did you pay?
Yours?
Yeah. It's only the 19th. If anybody wants to log on.
If somebody has to go and boil my water bill, mine
Right.
is on to them.
Yep,
It's not
exactly.
personal.
It's not like
I don't want them to
locking-
do it for free, I want them to pay for it.
Can you lock just gyms up?
Yeah.
No, that's good.
All right.
That's all I have.
All right. All right, let's go to appointments. We have 2 applications to discuss for Light Power. Has everybody seen them?
Yes.
Susie sent them this afternoon. Jim, your Light Power, do you have any thoughts on it?
No, I'm just glad that we have 2 applicants, that's great news. I think they both will do an outstanding job. I know, stopped by this last meeting and attended it, and just to see what it was like. There's a lot to learn. It's always exciting, there's something new, and it's nice to sit on that board. There's great people that are on that too already, so you'll be joining a great crew of people.
Anybody else have any thoughts?
Honestly, I think it's just exciting that people are wanting to be involved more and more. I'd love to echo you. I think both parties would do a fine job, but
We have 2 applicants for 1 chair, correct?
Mhm.
Yep. Jeff?
My only thought is, I mean, between the 2, we appointed Jake to the DDA, correct?
Yep.
So,
Just, yeah, the HDC.
Right.
oh, I'm sorry. I knew it was, so I would be in favor of Mr. Fonger just because it's somebody new.
I agree. I also think Craig is a green energy guy, and I think that's the direction that a lot of public utilities are going. So I think he holds some value there. And Jake's out there serving us already. He's on boards and boards and boards, and he'll be on the ballot this November. Any opposition to appointing Craig? Okay, congratulations. You're on Light and Power.
That's $20 to each of
good luck
us.
to you.
Okay, now that-
For the record, the record 8:30 was shortest, not longest. They go-
That's right.
And they go
11:10 was the longest one I said.
11:10.
started,
Did you fall asleep?
No.
Too much excitement to fall asleep.
It's 6 p.m.
6 p.m. on a Tuesday, you'll be out of there
Oh, the
sometime
second
Thursday
Thursday
afternoon.
of the month.
Council comments, Leah.
Social media is a funny thing. It has helped me connect to so many wonderful people here since moving here. COVID really kind of all shut us up, and social media was a huge part of me meeting people in the community, learning about this position. But in the past couple of weeks, I've really seen a lot of hate going on and being passed back and forth from many different people. And just personally, professionally, and where I sit here, hate is not tolerated in Lowell. And I just want to continue to echo kindness in our city. Hate shouldn't be tolerated here, and there is no need to hate anybody. There is always common ground. We are all humans. So that is what I have to say.
Thank you. Warren.
I'd like to thank the guys at the DPW. They do an outstanding job. Our new sexton was mowing grass yesterday at the cemetery. On that, he's wasn't Saturday, sorry, but he was out there working, and that was good to see. And thanks to the police officers for everything they do. I really have seen a reduction in people going fast. So, yeah, Jeff.
I want to take time out because we don't discuss a lot, but Sue has always had, Brian and his team does a report once a month. The chief does their reports. We don't talk about it a lot. There's a lot of good information that if you sit through and read them all, I don't know if all of us read all of them. I make sure that I look at them. Do I understand them 100%? No. But I'm quite sure if there was an issue, you guys would be telling us. So all the staff that works on those, thank you for continuing those reports.
I could always have Cody come to your house and explain it, because that's what
I would love to have there.
All that's important is the acceptable level and where Lowell is at. And if where Lowell is at is lower, we're cool. The water tastes good. I'd like to thank the DPW for taking care of Denise brought the issue to our attention at the window at the museum, and it got handled. She came through the door of my store a couple days ago. I ducked behind the counter because I thought, and she actually took the time to come in to express her thanks for us getting that handled. So well done, whoever did it.
It only took 2 years to get that address because it literally took 2 years to get that door ordered.
I thought it was a window.
Or a window, yeah, that's what it was, yeah.
Okay.
It took 2 years to get that window. I think it was another China issue, right?
Well, it's a parts issue.
Yes.
All right. I don't have anything. Jim?
Make a motion to adjourn at 8:04.
I'll support.
Motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We're adjourned.